Well, hello. Today is a very special day because I get to rescue a childhood ceiling fan. I will show you the fan and then we'll get the phone mounted up. This is a K63 ornate Sears Emerson turn of the century fan. I got the canopy down already just to see if I could get up high enough. And then I had to go home and get my tools, and now we're ready. I do have permission to take this fan. I saw signs of remodeling in progress, and I asked a construction worker to have the property owner call me, and he did. And he said that yes, he would remove the ceiling fan during the remodeling. So I got permission a week ago to go get it, and today I have the time, and I've let him know that it's happening today. So he is aware of my presence in this house and that the fan will be gone when he comes by. But not only is it an important childhood fan, even if it wasn't, I'm glad I'm saving this. These things are rare. But this is the case. This shelf over there. And you can watch me go to work. Okay, there we go. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we'll get the blades off. Let's see here, I'll need my flatheads for this one. And this is, this is the black one too, not the brown or malaise, as some people like to say. Which includes me. I like to say malaise. But this is not malaise, it's ebony. Oh yeah, I'm glad I did go and get my good screwdriver. I tried to use one in the garage, but I couldn't find one. And there's some other little tools that, would have been just fine for a loose flathead screw, but these are in there pretty stiff. Which is a good thing. Okay, I see where that went. It's plain on both sides. I don't think stencil was ever offered for K63s. I think you have to go into the K55 era to get stencil. But that's okay. Truth be told, I probably could use a few extra plain blade fans in my collection because I am always seeking out the cane blades and the stencil blades. Also, I cannot run the fan because the power has been cut. He didn't mean to cut the power. He just didn't realize that the electric bill hadn't been caught up. But when I asked him on the phone an hour ago, he says it's going to take a week or more before he'll get that power on. And I don't want to wait until then. I don't want to wait a week to get this just to do a video. Because it'll be on my testing rig in the future someday. Right, the dust is loose on these blades. It's kind of gonna get me dirty, but heck, I'll just add that as part of the fun. That's a little bit of dust when you got a shower at home. Okay, I see where that landed. Okay, there's the second blade off. Actually, I don't The big surprise about this fan is that it is a turn of the century. This fan here is the reason why I own a Casablanca Classic in Malaise, which mine was a K63 that I found. It was the third fan I ever purchased at a restore in Iowa before I found out we even had a restore here. And when I saw this K63 Emerson Casablanca Classic, I thought it was the same fan. And after my piano teacher had moved out of this house, circa 2008, I believe, and we moved out of this neighborhood in 2005, and we're living on the other side of town until we came back here in 2010 to move into my grandma's house, which is the house that, you know, I've had my fans in for 15 years. And I hung up this K63 Casablanca Classic in Malaise that I brought home from Iowa. And at that time, my piano teacher was a good friend of my mom's before she moved to Idaho. And so she came over one day when I had this Casablanca Classic in my garage, and I says, "Hey, look, I found one of those fans that you had." And I thought it was the same model. And she says, "Yeah, that does look like my fan." But since she herself no longer lived in this house when she saw my Casablanca Classic, even she didn't realize that it was slightly different. So when I found out that this house was going to be remodeled, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm about to receive a twin brown K63 Casablanca Classic. And I'm like, what a cool twin set. Then I get here and find out I misremembered it. Is like, oh my gosh, this is not a Casablanca Classic. I saw this motor shape and I was like, whoa. Because these things are pretty obscure, and I forgot this version of the TOC was a thing. And so I had to like realize that I had forgotten that. And then I had to also realize that this was the black version instead of the brown. So it was interesting to find out that my childhood fan was something even more unusual. Oh, that's where that's landed. But it didn't fall off. I do have to go down those stairs to find it. Okay. Okay, got that one. Unfortunately, this blade has a crack in it. It doesn't go all the way through, but I'll just have to pay attention to that and see what I can do. Hopefully nothing will ever make it get worse, but if it does, I'd have to maybe take some black electrical tape and glue it over that. But if it doesn't get worse, I don't think I'm going to attempt to repair, because it hasn't disconnected. Wait a minute. I don't know. Maybe somebody did repair this. It looks. I can't tell if that discoloration is dried glue or not. Well, just be careful with it. Don't put any pressure at that point. But yeah, I got the blades off. Now we'll go up with the rest of it. So let me get a Phillips ready. Unless I don't know. What am I going to be looking at here? Yeah, I don't think I need a Phillips. I think I'm just going to need to disconnect the nuts. far back, but well, no, I could be right under the blades aren't going to be in my way now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull it back a little bit. So yeah, even the motor pole is going to be right in front of me. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's the hot nut. Where's the other nut? There it is. Okay, is there a grounding wire that they connected? Can't tell. Well, is that a J-hook or a double? Looks like a double claw, but then the wheel is. Yeah, that is a J-hook. It's going to be hard to screw out of that beam. In fact, it could be damn near impossible to get out. I got J-hooks at home. It's not the end of the world if I leave it in, but... Okay. I have some vice grips, and we will have to use them. I hope I can do this without having to stand at the apex of the ladder, because you are not supposed to stand at the apex of the ladder. But okay, too loose. Not too tight. Okay. This. Okay. I can't get it to lift over the end of the J hook. It comes back up too high. It has to be partially unwound in order to get it to come down. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't get it tight enough with that. Is this reverse threaded? I can always try to go what I think is backwards and see if that works. Okay. Oh, I wouldn't do it that way. Okay. I didn't think so. Ugh. I wonder if it would be better to try to pull that grommet out of the bracket. Or just try to wrench it out. Okay. Ooh, not that this pancake box is good for fans anyway, but the stiff wire too doesn't help. It's kind of in the way of things. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess just get on with it. Yeah, that's... Okay, let's get that out before it was. 4. Oh, there is a... Okay. I see what might be part of the problem. Boy, ain't this an adventure. I feel like I'm performing a Evel Knievel stunt or something. Oh wait, no. Oh, that isn't even, or yeah, no, it goes up there. It's twisted around the J hook. Oh, it has a slot. Okay. Go. I don't have to use the wrench for that. Whoa. This ladder more stick. Okay, unwrap that from around the J hook. Oh, I cut my arm at work, and the gauze is starting to come undone, so that's what. So anybody's, what's on his arm? Yeah, it was a bandage. Bandage that we did. Okay. It can't get over the tip of the hook yet, but I feel like we just got to turn it just a little more, and we should be able to get that to happen. Oh, the tip of the hook is going past. Oh, let me try to. Okay, I think I just shouldn't have, as part of it. Okay, Robert made a mistake. It's okay, these types of screw shafts are easy enough. But yeah, I was supposed to, not. Or I should have taken those out. Oh well. Okay. Hopefully I can get it to turn some more. Okay. Let's see if we can get it over the hook now. And oh, okay. I got the bracket off of the bearing. Okay, okay. Down we go. I got it. Oh. Wow, it actually is malaise. It's just so dark that in its shadows it looks black. That is dark malaise. But it's virtually black. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, let me see what I can do about this. pole to grab no more, so I'm going to have to. Oh yeah, that's. I have to take those out. Or not. Or I don't know. Okay, oh, that's too far below me. I'm going to have to keep holding it. Okay. This is a circular pancake box. It is not the deeper octagon box that fans are supposed to go on. But the two thick screws into the wood beam, I suppose, as long as the metal was able to handle that. Oh, okay, grommet's loose. I guess I just gotta plunk it down on the carpet. Oh, it went down the stairs. Yeah, the part that was the hardest is exactly the part that is hardest. Okay. Yeah. It's almost out. It's getting looser now. Okay. It's out. Okay. As much as I'd love to say I'm done, I gotta go back up and put the wire nuts on those wires. go get the phone now. Let's go look at this fan up close. And then we got that done. How's that? That was hard, but we did it, and it's scary. I had to do that while facing my fear of heights. There's the lavalier. Oh, the whole switch housing is just a tad bit loose. So, at some point I'll have to tighten the nut that's inside of it. But yeah, it's the lavalier pull chain. I wonder if we can find a year on this thing. I want to know. It's plastic though. We gotta be really careful not to put weight on this housing. That's where the tag is, but it's so dusty I can't read it. Let me wipe it with my finger and okay, I'm gonna put it back. I don't want to risk damaging it, so we're gonna lay it back. I'm gonna try to look at it from this way. There it is. Okay. When ordering parts or service, always mention model number ordered through any of our catalog sales office, retail stores, or by mail. Sears, Roebuck and Company. So, oh, it's so hard to read. It'd be easier if I were to dismantle it, but I don't really want to. Sears ceiling fan, model number 292.908, 900 or 906. 906, 900. So that's the one that Dan Newman's, yeah. And I kind of, once I saw the videos of Dan's on his channel last night, kind of figured that's what I was going to get, a model. So 1/25 horsepower, 1.9 amp. UL listed fan 248A. Where could we find the year? Dan said that or one of his friends in his video, he said that it was yeah. It might be inside the actual K63 part. So this is the lower canopy, same lower canopy as this, which is what blender fans would have had. This is what this is. They stuck a motor housing on a blender fan and said, oh, it's residential now. But yeah. Truth be told, it's not as heavy as I thought. That could mean it's a post-1980 K63, but I don't know. It doesn't have a vent screen. But it definitely is. It's that wide all the way across from there to there, so we may have to wait until we dissect this to find out, see if we can find a year. And it always very well could have even come detached. But Yeah, well, I would say we'll wrap it up. There's a couple of modern fans that I'm going to get. There never was a fan when my piano teacher lived here. The new owners added this, but I'm going to rescue it. I'll also might rescue both of them. There was no fan in here either. A little bit loose. This fan I'm going to save. I have a 90s Encon that was in the apartment I rented out, which my same roommate still lives there, but he had a single light on his, and I'm going to take this one down and give it to him so he can have 3 bulbs in that room, and then I can take that Encon into my collection in the future. You know, there is something sad, though. I'll just mention it briefly. When my piano teacher was here, there were no 2000s fans, and there were 3 vintage ones. But the sad part is that these vintage fans that were down here in the den, they got replaced. And I'm really sad about this because as a kid, I remember that canopy being so strange. And what I can remember about that canopy as I've learned about fans, I think I'm pretty sure I remember that it was a Casablanca canopy, the deep bell canopy that they had as they were late in the K63 and going into the K55. So I expected 2 brass stack motor fans down here that were probably Casablanca, and they met their fate a number of years ago, unfortunately, after my piano teacher sold this house and the new owners got rid of that, unfortunately. But this is rarer than the Zephyrs or even the Victorians, just because they sold so many of those. Emerson didn't particularly sell too many of these. But yeah, I'm debating whether or not I want to get those other 2 fans right now, but probably because we got 4 hours of daylight left, I might come back tomorrow for those because I got other stuff I need to do, stuff at home. So yeah, there it is. I'll make a community post for the photographs that I took of it, and if I decide I want to take it apart any further, I won't film that, but I will drop a comment with the year and month if I find that. If no comment appears, I just don't know. And if push comes to shove, I can call the real estate flipper and ask him what year the house was finished. But I would say that since I got to move on to other things right now, I'm gonna call it a wrap. But I mean, that was a good live. We were live for 40 minutes and change, and you did get to watch me film it. I don't know if that was gonna go live initially. I wanted to hard record it, but I'm running out of storage on my phone, and that was like stream it instead of film it. That way, if something goes wrong, you don't run out of storage. And that happened. Really difficult to get that hook out, and it took me about 20 minutes just for that part alone. But yeah, what a beautiful fan. What a beautiful old vintage fan. We'll never ever sell this one because it de facto is the childhood fan. When I would come over every Wednesday for the music lessons, we could not have the fan on during the practice because the piano was right there and it would cut up the sound. But if I was coming over and I was kind of hyper, and she would recognize that I was hyper, she's like, okay, I gotta let him run the fan for a minute or 2 before we get to the piano, and that would calm me down and get me more focused and get me ready to try try to read that sheet music and practice those right notes. So someday, I hope even though she lives out of state, I hope I can contact her some. That she definitely thought it was interesting, the Casablanca classic she saw, and so I think she'd be pretty cool to know that we didn't trash this and it got saved. So 12 baumarobi over and out.